Divorce, that dreaded word that no married couple wants to ever hear, let alone their kids. While divorce may not be comfortable to think or talk about, it is important to know the physical and emotional effects it has on children and teens so early on in their life that can potentially last forever. For most of my life, I have known about divorce. I have never experienced it, but I have seen its effects on people very close to my heart. I know from my audience analysis that most of you know someone whose parents are divorced. A few of you may be uncomfortable with talking about divorce, but unfortunately, divorce has become more common and acceptable in today's society. Talking about what divorce is and its effects can help you become more aware of the situation and better your emotional support. This is important for college and high school students because many of you, even in this room, have experienced the life in split households at a young age, and knowledge of this can help you have a better understanding. Today, I will provide you information about what divorce is and facts, the legal process, and ways divorce impacts children and teens. So let's begin with a brief definition about what divorce is and facts. So from Wikipedia, the definition of divorce is the process of terminating a marriage or marital union. It usually entails the cancellation of recognizing the legal duties and responsibilities of marriage, thus dissolving the bonds of matrimony between a married couple under the rule of law of the particular country or state. In 1969, Parliament passed the Divorce Reform Act, which was supposedly based on the principle that marriage had irreversibly broken down and should be sufficient and exhaustive ground for divorce. This was according to the book Family Law in the 20th Century by Stephen Cartney, published in the according to Understanding of Legal Issues and Steps in a Divorce by Florida Justice Technology Center, every case is different and dissolution of marriage causes can be particularly complicated. So there are 7 main ways in filing for a divorce, that is, filing a petition, filling an answer, additional papers you must file, discovery, mediation, parenting plans, and trial. So according to Divorce in Europe and the United States, Commonalities and Differences Across Nations by Paul Armato, Spencer James, couples who marry at older ages have a lower risk of divorce. It also states that delaying marriage also decreases the percent of married couples in the population. So now that I have given you a brief overview of what divorce is and some facts, I want to tell you about the legal process. So a regular dissolution of marriage lawsuit is begun by one spouse filing a petition for dissolution of marriage. The petition must state that the marriage is irreversibly broken. The spouse who did not file the petition has 20 days to file an answer from the time they are served with the petition. In an answer, the respondent tells the court what part that they believe is true. Additional papers must be filed next, like child support guidelines and financial papers. There is other financial information that must begin the other party that choose. They are known as mandatory disclosures such as returns, proof of income, credit cards, bank accounts, etc. Both spouses have a right to find out information the other party has about the case. In some places, you are required to go through mediation to see if you can reach an agreement. An agreement on a parenting plan can be presented to the jury approval. This includes how parties can plan to share daily tasks, time, and etc. The trial is known as a contested final hearing. If there were anything that you could not agree on after the mediation, a final hearing or trial will be scheduled. This will be heard by a judge, not a jury. So now that I have told you about the legal process, I want to share with you how this can have an impact on children and teens. So according to long-term effects of divorce and remarriage of the adjustment of children, most children experience their parents' divorce as a stressful life event and exhibit short-term developmental disruptions, emotional distress, and behavioral disorders. The article also states that in the first few years following divorce, children in divorced families, in comparison to non-divorce, show that more antisocial, impulsive acting out disorders, more aggression, anxiety, depression, and etc. A social worker can help families through this hard transition. There are also other options such as individual, couple, and family therapy. To get a better feel for how many people around me have been impacted by divorce, I made a poll of questions on my social media. I asked the question, are your parents divorced? And had them answer yes or no. If they answered yes, I also had them answer to, how old were you when your parents got divorced? How old are you now? And how did you feel when you learned your parents were getting a divorce? Being a friend of many with divorced parents, I was interested in finding out more information with a bigger group of people. So my results were, out of 141 people, 70% said that their parents were not divorced versus 30% that were. The main age group of the voters were around 15 to 18-year-olds. When I asked how old they were when their parents got divorced, the answers were mostly very young ages. I got a variety of answers ranging from 1 to 15 years old. When I asked them how they felt when their parents were getting a divorce, the results were heartbreaking. The majority of responses were like confused, overwhelmed, suppressed, and I got a lot of like they were too young to understand what was happening. So I hope that this information has given you a better understanding of what divorce is and the impacts. I have stated that provided you with information about what divorce is, the facts and legal process, and the ways divorce has impacted children and teens. I hope you will consider this information I have provided to help have a better understanding about divorce. As is stated in my intro, a divorce can be uncomfortable to talk about, but remember that there is always someone here for you. Thank you.